With offices in Texas and Israel, Zion is truly an international company. It is from Zion's corporate offices in Dallas that John Brown shares his vision for the Joseph Project.
In January 1981, after I'd accepted Christ, I went to a church in Clawson, Michigan, and in this church, a man by the name of Jim Spillman came to the church, and he told the story of how God had put in the Bible, in both Jacob in Genesis chapter 49 and also Moses in Deuteronomy chapter 33, how both of them spoke of how someday that God would bless Joseph with oil, and he talked of the blessings that lies beneath. And it was fascinating to me that God would put something like that in the Scriptures. So that was the beginning of the vision that God had planted in my heart with Jim Spillman in probably February, I think February of 1981. This project, first the excitement of it is that it's the spiritual journey that I believe that God has chosen for my life. I believe it's God's will for me to go to Israel and to help Israel become energy independent. We want to help people, and basically that's what Zion's about. It's a people company.
Within the company, we say the geology has confirmed the theology. There is a lot of science. There's probably too much science for the average person in the street to cope with. But if you take the time to go through all that science and you look at it, it's wonderful to see that the scientific side and the biblical side slowly, slowly, slowly come together. And you see it, and you see it. That there are a number of levels to do with the project that if it's successful, if and when it's successful, will be most wonderful. Number one, I have to say the idea that John came to this country with nothing but a Bible in his hand, and he put a finger on his map and was told by people, "You're a lunatic," and then said, "I may be, but do some work for me." Glenn Perry, our president, our chief operating officer, he drills oil wells, and he said to John, "I don't think so." And John said, "Well, just look at this." And he began to look at it. And he said, "I don't know how you did this, but you've got something."
You can't help, as an explorationist like I am, help but be very excited about the possibilities of this. Even if we find some of what's possible, it will impact the state of Israel for the next 20, 30 years.
The project to me, I mean, you're talking to a guy that's had an experience with the Lord. I have no doubt, I have never doubted it since 1983 or the beginning of 1981. And I have that kind of faith, not based on what I'm hoping to happen, because I know God has created Zion. In creating Zion, He sent the people and the finances to accomplish this mission. My job is to go get the oil and to help Israel. That's what God's called me to do.